Hey, it's Steve with Raybuck Auto Body Parts and Builder Kids, and this is
Blake.
And
Kobe.
Sienna's not here right now. She's doing something else, but the three of us came down to the garage. It is Christmas time. It's almost Christmas time. It's after Thanksgiving, so we love Christmas. You could tell. Look at the shirts, the hats, the Mickey light-up necklace, everything. One thing that's a little bit different this year, though, we have to kind of rearrange things with our ornaments, our decorations, and our tree because we got a puppy. And here is little Ruby. Come here.
Look at her.
Mm-hmm.
Take a picture.
There she goes. So isn't she cute? She's awesome. She's about 13 weeks old. She's doing fantastic in the house with our cats, with everyone. But obviously she's a puppy, so she's getting into a lot of things. So we do a lot of decorations. Obviously you can see we have Christmas shirts. We got the hat. We got the light up Mickey necklace. We got a little bit of everything. We go kind of all out for Christmas. But we're trying to change the decorations a little bit this year to make sure that Ruby is safe and she doesn't get into anything. One of the things we're changing is the base of the tree. Normally we have a nice tree skirt and a train and a bunch of other stuff down there. We are going to make, we are going to make a box though, a wooden box to go around the base of the tree. We saw some of these online. We thought it'd be a cool little project to do. It'll still make it look nice and kind of finished at the bottom of the tree, but it'll be safe for her so she doesn't get in anything and knock anything over or tear anything apart, and then we don't have to worry about it. So that's what we're going to get into. The base of the tree right now is just like what you see here. We used to get a real tree. I know these guys really wanted to get a real tree. The cats tend to, for whatever reason, our cats tend to want to climb up into a real tree, and an artificial tree they leave alone, and then they get the needles all inside of them in their fur, and they're like all over the house. So unfortunately, we've gone with an artificial tree the last few years. I guess it is environmentally friendly to some point. So anyway, that's what we're doing. We got the artificial tree. That's the base of it. We are going to build a nice little box, little wooden box that's real rustic looking to go around it.
What the heck?
So we're going to talk a little bit about the tools that we're going to use and the wood. You can see a couple pallets behind us on the floor. We're going to use the pallet buster and break those apart to get the wood off. For this project, we'll explain it as we go through or talk about it. You can either leave the wood like that and have it kind of rustic looking, or you could stain it, or you could paint it. You can do whatever you want. I guess you could even wrap it in material if you wanted it to look more like a present or something like that. We actually have two trees. We have one in our living room, like hallway area, and then one in our basement. So we're gonna make two of these. We'll just do a video of the first one. The second one is essentially gonna be the same thing, but maybe a little bit smaller. And that one, I think the kids are gonna paint. The one upstairs, I think we're gonna leave a little bit more rustic. So we're gonna scan down to the tools. Blake's gonna tell you what we're gonna use, and then we're gonna get into the project.
Drill bits.
What do we have?
Screwdriver,
Yep.
pencil, hinges,
The hinges. Mm-hmm.
tape measure, hammers, wooden.
The wooden.
dowels,
Yep, the wooden dowels. Some screws, a couple different size screws.
circular saw, and miter saw.
And the miter saw. And there's some of the wood over there, the pallets. So I just grabbed a couple different size screws, wood screws and other screws we had. And we'll see what size we need. I'll explain that, or I'll talk about it as we get into it. And then wooden dowels. You don't need that, but I was thinking about that. I had a little container of those, and this is definitely an optional step, but I'll show you as we get into the project what those would be good for, but you don't have to use those if you don't want to. So we're gonna start breaking the pallets down, and then once we get that wood off, we will get into the project, and we'll show you guys what we do, all of our measurements, and how we put this together. Okay, so every tree is going to be obviously a different height and have a different base. Our tree base is about 19 inches square. So we're going to give ourselves a little bit of room. We're going to make the inside of the box that we're building 20 inches. So that gives us an inch, a little over an inch of play. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut these boards at 21 So it's going to hang out a little bit longer, and that'll give us 20 on the inside. And we're going to cut this stack at 20. So this is going to be our inside piece, which is 20, and this is going to be our outside piece, which is 21. These boards are a ½ inch. So cutting these ones at 21 gives us a ½ inch on this side and a ½ inch on that side of overlap, which will give us a perfect 20 inches all the way around. So we're going to cut those right now, and then we'll show you what we're going to do with these ones next.
Taiwan.
Okay, come over here next to me. Ready? Want to hold this?
I gotta start pushing.
Yep, squeeze.
That's so loud. Rolling.
Okay, so this is kind of how the box is going to align. We're going to have one long piece here and one shorter piece here so that they overlap a little bit like that. And then what's going to happen is we're going to take two of these. So two on the side and two here. So it's going to be, ours is going to end up being about 10 inches tall. And then we're going to do a border. And what we're going to do, we're going to have some thinner pieces, these thinner pieces here. We're going to have it come up, across, down, across. So we're going to frame each side of this, and then we're going to get a little fancier. We're going to do an X pattern in the middle. But what we want to focus on is making sure that the corner lines up. So we're going to overlap the side pieces so that this side one is like this and this side one is like this. So you end up with almost like this little step joint in here. So you have this one, and then this overlaps a ½ inch, and this side piece, and then this one overlaps a ½ inch, and we're going to put the hinge on the inside. That way, when it's all the way open, these two pieces will rest against each other, and we'll get a nice square corner. And then when you're not using it, it'll hinge and it'll fold in on itself. And we're going to make two sides like that. That way you don't end up with just this big box or three sides that are nailed together that are solid and one other side that you have to put in and attach somehow. It takes up a lot of room. There's a chance it could break. This way you get two sides that'll just hinge in, they'll lay flat. You can put it in a storage box and put it away for the year. So that's how everything's going to line up. So we're going to make the first piece, and then we'll show you what that looks like in a few minutes. Okay, we took a break, and we're getting back to the project. So you can see we have all the wood cut, primary piece of wood cut, and it's all laid out. Kobe's going to show you what we have, how it's going to go together, and how we marked it. So Kobe, why don't you show us what's going to happen here?
So the smooth sides go in.
Yep. And we took these boards and we cut them down a little bit for our particular tree. So we have two smooth sides that are going here, and we have the rough sides on the outside so we can give it that rustic look.
Same for these ones. Smooth side goes in.
Yep, smooth side goes in so that we get clean edges all the way here, 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 and here. We'll get it. And this one, same thing. We're going to do the rustic looking edge up, and then on the bottom we're going to do a smooth edge down here so that it sits flat on the floor. You could do it either way, but that's how we're going to lay it out. And then what we did was on these end pieces, since we need about a ½ inch of overlap, we just put a ½ inch mark on either side of the wood. So we're going to lay that down. We're going to line that mark up with the edge of this, and that's how we're going to know where to nail it. Now we're going to use a little brad nailer for this. You could use that. You could use nails and a hammer. You could use screws. You could screw it from the back side so that you don't see the screw heads, or you can even glue it. If you have some wood glue, you could do that. So you could use any of those options. So we're going to go ahead. Since we have the nail gun, we're going to get this nailed in place, and then you're essentially going to repeat that same process for all four sides. So we're going to get that done, make sure everything fits, and then when that's done, you really could almost be done with the box other than putting your hinges on. I am going to put some X braces in the middle, I think, and make it look maybe a little bit nicer, or I might just do one across the center. So we'll see how that's going to work out, but we'll show you how that all works, and then we'll jump into how the hinges go on so you can see how the pieces are going to connect. Okay, come on.
Which side?
We're going to shot down here. Yeah, and then one right up here. Okay, there you go. There's the outline. Obviously we'll get a few more nails in it, but that's what it looks like. Right there. So we'll get a few more nails in it. Like I said, I'm probably going to do a couple cross pieces, and then we will build all the other sides, the other 3 sides, and then I'll show you how we hinge it.
Watch this one.
Come on, come on.
Oh, these are really separated.
Okay, we built the 4 pieces. We didn't do the cross bracing yet. I'm going to get to that later, but we wanted to show you while we were down here how these go together. So you can see I just kind of stood 2 up and butted them up together. Here's the zigzag that I was talking about, where the 2 kind of like nest into each other. Not the greatest gap, but it's not too bad. Again, this is going to be a rustic thing that's under a tree, so if you want, you could be a little bit more precise. We just kind of did the one side and eyed it up. So that's how that works. And then we're going to do a hinge. We're going to put a hinge on the inside. Kobe is going to show you how that goes. Okay, Kobe, why don't you show him the hinge?
Okay. So hinges are on doors and cabinets and stuff. You always do not put it like this, or else this thing will fall out.
The pin, yep.
Yeah. And you always put the flat on like this. Okay.
Yep, so we're going to put it in like that. So just the way Kobe held it. Can I see that again, Kobe? So we're just going to put one of these in the corner. We're going to do one hinge right here, and that's it. When we build the other side, we're going to do one hinge there, and that'll give us our 2 pieces that'll hinge and close, lay flat, and then when you open them up, you could just kind of rest them together. We'll show you what it looks like when it's all done. So we got that. The different screws we had, this one we're just going to go with a number 8 by 3/4. The number 8 will fit in these holes, and the 3/4 of an inch is perfect to just kind of go right into here. You could drill a starter hole if you don't want the wood to split. I think this wood's going to be fine. It's from a pallet, so we're just going to get a screwdriver and stick it in. So we're going to put that on, and we'll show you what the final product looks like.
Okay, we finished the thing. We made it in 2 separate parts. It's not perfect, but can't always be perfect. And they look pretty good. We had to line it up again twice, but they worked out good.
So one thing I talked about at the beginning, we were looking at the tools we were going to use, were these little wooden dowels. So this little piece that you can maybe see right there. I'm not going to use them. I thought I was originally going to, but I changed my mind. But if you want, this is what my idea was. To help lock this together, once you put it under the tree, you could drill a little hole in this side and a little hole in this side. You can insert your dowel, your wooden dowel, and that way whenever you close this together, the dowel will help seat it. So it'll essentially just lock, goes like that. It'll lock this together. So the dowel would be attached in one side and slide into the hole in the other, and then your corners will lock, and it'll really lock the whole box together.
Okay, here's the finished product. We finished putting the little X's. If it were up to me though, I would have painted it. Sorry if you see our cats. They like it. And that's our show. And if you like this video, give us a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you want more.
Thanks for watching.